I published a piece on Monday over at hunterinAfarmersworld.com and hunterinAfarmersworld.com. And it starts with a poem by Robert Service from 1907. Most people don't remember Robert Service. He was a big deal when I was a little kid. I think he was probably still alive at the time. But anyhow, the book was written, it was called The Men Who Don't Fit In. And like I said, he wrote it in 1907. He writes, "There's a race of men that don't fit in, a race that can't sit still. So they break the hearts of kith and kin, and they roam the world at will. They range the field, and they rove the flood, and they climb the mountain's crest. Theirs is the curse of the gypsy blood, and they don't know how to rest. If they just went straight, they might go far. They are strong and brave and true, but they're always tired of the things that are. They want the strange and new. They say, could I find my proper groove, what a deep mark I would make. So they chop and change, and each fresh move is only a fresh mistake. And each forgets as he strips and runs, what a brilliant, fitful pace. It's the steady, quiet, plodding ones who win in the lifelong race. And each forgets that his youth is fled, forgets that his prime is past, till he stands one day with a hope that's dead in the glare of the truth at last. He has failed, he has failed, he has missed his chance. He has done things just by half. Life's been a jolly good joke on him, and now is the time to laugh. Ha ha, he is one of the legion lost. He was never meant to win. He's a rolling stone, and it's bred in the bone. He's the man who won't fit in." And it's the perfect description of attention deficit disorder. I mean, just the entire poem. So anyhow, I opened this article, Why Hunters in a Farmer's World, with that poem by Robert Service, and noted that since we started this website about 2 months ago, Louise and I started it, hunterinAfarmersworld.com, we've gotten a bunch of inquiries about, my thoughts on ADHD. I started writing about this in the 1980s. And, am I opposed to medication? Do I think people should seek therapy? Is ADHD a fad? Why do we need a hunter-farmer model when the disease model of modern medicine seems to work just fine? And all these kind of things. And so basically what I'm saying is, I'm fine with medication. I mean, there's a spectrum of severity for ADHD. I think that the hunter-farmer model, that people with ADHD are people who are carrying the genes of the hunters in our history as opposed to the farmers in our history, is still not just a good metaphor, but I think increasingly we are finding that there is actual science associated with it. And I lay out in the article exactly, what and why and how, and how I think that this is, for some people I absolutely acknowledge ADHD is a disability. It has, just as bad as limping, or particularly if you want to try to be an athlete, or not being able to see well, if you lived in a society where you couldn't easily get glasses. I get it. It's a challenge for people. It's been a challenge for me my whole life. That said, I think that it is also a collection of characteristics and strengths and traits that are in many ways a gift, as well as a curse. I would say the same of, by the way, the other side of being an extreme farmer, of being, a bookkeeper type, a person who just loves numbers and detail. And people say, oh, he's boring, I get it. There's this spectrum, and there's good and bad across it. But I really think that our impulse to pathologize everything in this society, to turn everything into a disease, to make everything something that you have to go to a medical professional for, and that you need to seek therapy or drugs for, I think is going to be a dangerous impulse when it's overdone. And so anyway, like I said, I've written 7 books on the topic, and we're publishing this newsletter now. You can find it over at hunterinAfarmersworld.com.